Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Mr. Hat, and today we're talking about Crawl, the newest alligator movie, killer alligator movies. We don't get too many of these, and it's nice that we're finally getting one at the theater. We usually get these low budget sci fi movies that no one wants to see unless you're like inviting a bunch of friends over to laugh at how stupid it is. The last great alligator movie I can think of was Lake Placid, so it's been a while. So I never really watched a lot of alligator movies growing up, so I was very interested to see this. And another thing that really got me on board for this movie was the name of Alexandra Aja, however you pronounce the French director's name. This is a director who directed Piranha and I think wrote it, so coincidence, that's another killer fish movie. Killer creature movie, not fish, because alligators aren't fish, but you know what I mean. It's another creatures, multiple ones. But he also directed the remake of Hills Have Eyes. I love that movie, one of my top 10 remakes, horror remakes of all time. So check that one out. And he wrote P2, that Christmas horror movie, a very isolated, well crafted, awesome horror movie. I don't know why people shit on it. It has like a very low Rotten Tomato score. No one talks about it. Great Christmas horror movie. Check it out. But he also wrote the remake of Maniac, and that's another great remake. It's all POV. So this guy, his name alone, got me in the theater. He had my ass in the seat. But this movie is also produced by Sam Raimi, who directed the 3 Spider-Man movies, and he made Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead. He didn't do the remake, which is my favorite. It's my number 1 horror remake right there. Even though people say it's not a remake, bullshit, whatever. Doesn't even matter. I could argue that the Friday the 13th remake wasn't a remake, it was a sequel too, because technically it could be. You chop out that first 3 minutes of Pamela and it could qualify as a sequel where Jason lost his mask and had to find another one. You know what I mean? It's all the same. But that's an argument for a different video. Let's talk about Crawl. Now, I saw 2 movies today. I saw Stuber. I went into that with low expectations. Didn't really think it was going to be that funny. Well, I was kind of right. It had some humor in it. But I actually was blown away by that. I liked it a lot more than I thought. And I went into this one with higher expectations, and then I was kind of underwhelmed, just a little bit. But let's start off with the things that I do like. I really like the creature violence in this movie. I wasn't sure how far they were going to go with it. They don't go extremely far, but there's a few moments where they do go for it, and I love that as a gorehound. You will see limbs being ripped off, heads, just awesome. I love the isolation, the one setting location. That's usually how a lot of horror movies do the things. Lots of great horror movies have isolated settings, like The Thing. Another couple of great isolated creature movies would be The Shallows and 47 Meters Down. So isolated settings are awesome because it's just claustrophobic, there's no escape, and it builds tension. Come on, you son of a bitch! And I like that Barry Pepper's in here, Sergeant Pepper, if that's his name. He's in Saving Private Ryan, and he's Corporal Dunn in Modern Warfare 2, and he's in other stuff. He's in We Were Soldiers, I believe, as the photographer. He's in a lot of war movies back in the day, and I like him. He's a familiar face, and I like his acting. I thought this movie had pretty good cinematography. It's very dark. They're in the basement, but there's some good lighting, and there's some red flares. I like when neon lights or red flares are used in movies because it always creates cool visuals. I thought the sets were pretty cool. The house and the town, the way they shot the storm, they made the storm feel real. I'm sure a lot of it was CGI, but it looked like they had a lot of rain towers going on and some CGI wind going in there. But the destruction that happens, it's pretty good. It's believable. I like that this movie at least tries to attempt on building some characters. These main 2, it tries to make a backstory for them. While it's not all that interesting or entertaining or really all that necessary, I'm glad that they at least tried. And I like that there's no final scare at the end. There's no final, there's another shark out there. Or, not shark, alligator. I can't tell you how many times I've been calling the alligator shark in my head. It basically is like a shark movie. I think there is a shark movie where there's a shark in a person's house, I believe. House shark. Yeah, there's all kinds of shark movies that are stupid. But let's go over the little things I did not care for or didn't like or nitpicks. One thing that kind of irritates me because it's in a lot of movies is the cliche CPR thing where they give up, they do it over and over and over again, and they're about to give up, they get mad, and they just bang on the chest and wakes them up. Oh, that's all you had to do from the beginning. It was just bam. That's not how it works. I found it kind of corny that they gave the alligators red eyes in some moments. It was 2 or 3 moments where their eyes will glow red. And it's like, this isn't the remake of Child's Play. This is supposed to be an alligator. Haley, the main girl in this movie, played by Carla or Carly, weird long last name I can't pronounce. She was not that great. She's not horrible, but I just didn't care for her acting all that much. There's even one scene where she has to like cry and like, you know, reflect on mistakes and guilts and whatnot, and just feels forced, and I don't believe her performance in that moment. And throughout most of the film, she just seems kind of one note. So she seems like she has like this resting like upset or like disappointed look on her face, or a resting bitch face, I guess. I just didn't really care for her as a character. I wanted to like her more, you know, because she's the main one that you're supposed to root for, where I was just kind of like, yeah, if she makes it, she'll make it. And she gets hurt a couple of times. Like, she'll get bit on the leg, bit on the arm. You see it in the trailer. And it doesn't really affect her. Like, in the moment it hurts, but then right after that, she's fine. And she's running and swimming fine. It doesn't, like, affect her swimming abilities. And it doesn't ever hurt her again. Like, she's never like bleeding a lot from her arm in the water. So that just takes me out of the moment too. I'm like, how is she not like hurting with all these steps she's taking and jumping from this platform to the next with a giant wound in her leg? It's like, whatever. And then there's a moment in this movie, and it's in the trailer, where she finds all these eggs, and it doesn't really do anything for the story. And it's not like it's used at the end to be like, oh, there's the final scare, there's an egg hatching, and now there's a sequel coming. And she doesn't even destroy the eggs. She just like looks at it and like, oh, all right, and then just goes away. It's like, destroy them. You want more? And it's not like that was like a explanation of any kind. Like, oh, that's where they came from. No, we already know where they came from. There was a sign that said alligator farm that way, and there's this giant storm drain that led to their basement. That's how the alligators came. It didn't. And those are just eggs. Like, what are the eggs for? To set up a sequel? And why didn't she destroy them? Like, what the fuck? And she doesn't even tell her dad about it, so it's never like brought up again. So I was just like, what are the eggs for? She should have destroyed them, that's all I'm saying. Any rational person would have destroyed them, but she just picked one up, put it down, walked away. And I'm like, bullshit. No rational human being goes outside their house and looks at a hornet's nest and is like, oh, alright, I'll just leave that up there forever. But anyways, I think that's all I really got to say about this movie. It was decent. It definitely goes for it. And Barry Pepper, I liked him in this movie, and they do show you some good gore, just some good creature violence. For all I know, this might be the best alligator movie ever. I've hardly seen any, so I'm not one to say that this is the best alligator movie ever, but if it is, let me know. But at the end of the day, I was slightly underwhelmed by this. It was okay. It's a decent average movie. Some fun, but not a whole lot of tension building. So I'll just say, when it comes to Crawl, maybe just save your money and check this one out at Redbox. And those are my thoughts on Crawl. Have you seen this movie yet? Let me know about it, what your experience was like, what you liked about it. Is it the best alligator movie ever? Is it better than Lake Placid? I haven't seen that one in a long time. Wasn't Betty White in that one? But anyways, if you like what you've seen here, you can click this like button over here to support this video. Tell all your friends about me. You can follow me on social media. You got Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds to see more. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen. Yeah.